What's up, everybody? Welcome to the KF Podcast. We got a little bit of a different intro today because the guys were doing a podcast this week about the Marvel Sony not being able to work together on a Spider-Man deal. And then, lo and behold, the next day, they announced Spider-Man 3 is coming out as a joint venture with Sony and Marvel. So here's a great podcast, and a lot of preparation went into it, but these guys are big idiots and messed it up. I'm not on the podcast this week, so I had to make fun of them via a little intro, just so you get the gist of what we're talking about and what to expect with this. So enjoy the podcast, and the rest of the guys are idiots. Good night.
Shut up and sit down.
What's up, everyone? This is the KF Podcast YouTube edition. If you stumbled upon our site our YouTube channel by accident, we have content all over the internet and your various social media needs under the KF Podcast. And we also have a weekly audio podcast you can find anywhere you get your podcasts. Every major app, we're on there.
Everywhere.
Just look for the KF Podcast and you will find it. And you will probably enjoy it. Actually, you might not enjoy it, but we would appreciate it if you listen to it. Today, Justin put together a special YouTube episode for us this week. It's called the Sony Disney Ongoing Spider-Man Drama.
It is the ongoing drama. Thank you for that intro.
You're welcome. It was probably the best one we've ever had.
Probably.
I think it might be.
We have no Ken tonight.
No Ken.
But we have a cheese-led episode. So
We do have this is all cheese. This is like all the cheese you could ever ask for. He likes this stuff. He investigated it. He did the homework. I did nothing for this. This hasn't happened. Well, for Brock, when he does the list, I don't really have much in those.
Yeah.
But do I still have to make this YouTube video? I still have to make it, don't I?
I don't do video. I was sitting there trying to think what you're going to put for video on this.
Just put pictures of Spider-Man.
Just pictures of Spider-Man laying around.
Tobey Maguire.
Pictures of you and Spider-Man together. You know,
Put Justin's head on Spider-Man.
I didn't mean like that. All right, so go ahead.
So anyway, on I think Sunday, a YouTube video popped up in my recommended feed from a YouTuber I want to credit. YouTube channel is Everything Always.
Okay.
And kind of a clickbait title that I had to go and look at.
Okay.
Disney to buy Spider-Man rights from Sony outright for how much? So of course I go and watch the video. It's like a little over 5 minutes long.
Okay.
And essentially what we're hearing, there's some rumors going around that apparently Sony's current asking price for the Spider-Man properties is $10 billion.
That's ludicrous.
That's crazy.
I agree. It's completely insane. They paid $4 billion for the entire
Marvel Universe.
Marvel Universe, and then $4 billion for Star Wars as well.
Uh-huh.
So $10 billion for Spider-Man is crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
If you really want that Morbius movie, though, you're gonna have to pay up.
Yeah.
So, and he talked about, he was trying to justify how Marvel would be, or Disney would basically be able to recoup that money over a trilogy of movies and merchandising rights. And that was all it would take to recoup $10 billion.
I think it would take a little more than that.
A lot more than that.
Because doesn't Disney already have merchandising rights?
That is what I went and found out and confirmed. So thanks to WikiLeaks, I don't know if we're supposed to advertise that or not.
I love WikiLeaks. WikiLeaks is great. Check out WikiLeaks.
But anyway, thanks to WikiLeaks, I was actually able to find the contract negotiation notes from 2011 when Marvel and Sony were going back and forth on Spider-Man and who could use what and where things were owned. And I found some interesting stuff. The original upfront deal, Marvel paid Sony Pictures Entertainment $175 million.
Okay.
And then there's some of this stuff that I really don't understand about prorated money and some other things, but they were, for 10 years, Marvel was paying them money per year.
How much? 10 million a year?
No, like 30 up to 35 million a year.
Okay.
But there's something in here about a sliding scale of worldwide box office up to $1 billion.
Okay.
And I the wording is bad. It's legalese, and it kind of went over my head.
Okay.
But the back end cap was $130 million additional over a 10-year period.
Okay.
But basically, that gave complete film. Let's see. Live action and animated film rights.
All right.
Live action TV rights.
Okay, which they haven't done since the 70s.
They haven't done. And animated TV rights, but only for shows longer than 44 minutes.
That doesn't make any sense.
It makes it so they would have to do an hour-long Spider-Man animated
So is that
weekly
why
show.
they were still able to do that Spider-Man, Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. kind of cartoon that Marvel put out? What's that called? The Ultimate Spider-Man?
Yeah, it was on MTV, right?
No, they came back with one on Cartoon Network, I think, that Marvel was...
I don't
Or
know.
it was on... Maybe it was on Disney. You know, where he was, like, working with Nick Fury, and he had, like, young Sam Alexander Nova with him and all those people.
If it was an hour-long
It was
show.
about a half hour. Yeah, he had Power Man with him and like White Tiger and all of them.
Yeah.
That was like out a couple years ago. That's still out, I think. And yeah, that's only like a 22-minute show, half-hour show.
So there must be some kind of a thing new other than this contract, because this contract... if Disney's putting that out,
Disney
then yes,
put it out, yeah.
because it's under the half an hour limit.
Because
Disney
they had
can do
him
it.
working with Nick Fury and doing all that. It was very Marvel-esque.
Okay, yeah, you're right. So there have been a bunch of rumors all right, let me take a step back. I'm confusing myself here. So the asking price was $10 billion. He was trying to justify it with the merchandising rights, but Disney already has them, so that doesn't factor in anymore.
Yeah.
So all they would have would be 3 movies to recoup $10 billion. Avengers Endgame didn't do that kind of money.
No.
Yeah.
So, that's not going to happen. But anyway, his video made me want to go out and look at this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, they would have to make like 10 Spider-Man movies. It would be a lot.
It would be crazy. So
10 successful Spider-Man
yeah,
movies.
very successful. So a few things I found out while doing this research. Apparently, as early as April of this year, Sony Corporate had considered selling off Sony Pictures Entertainment and divesting that part of the business.
Okay.
Amazon is reportedly looking at it. Apple is reportedly looking at it. And Netflix are reportedly looking at it.
So if you buy Sony Entertainment, what do you get? You get like all the...
You get anything Sony except the Spider-Man universe.
Because those revert back to Marvel.
That would automatically revert back to Marvel.
Yeah.
So there's another argument against Disney spending $10 billion
Just
to
wait
buy
it out,
Spider-Man.
see what happens.
Wait it out and see what happens. Because
Could get it for free.
Exactly. They could get the rights back
I
essentially.
mean, did they
for
really
free.
offer them $10 million knowing that Marvel knows this? I mean, Marvel has to know this.
Well, I think that this is just Sony's public, hey, you want Spider-Man? $10 billion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is just ludicrous. They know Disney's not going to spend that.
That's like something Dr. Evil would offer. Like a quadrillion dollars, like...
Exactly.
It is.
So Netflix apparently is kind of, as a potential purchaser, has kind of waned out. Apple and Amazon are apparently still kind of in the game. Apple has their new Apple TV streaming service coming out November 1st. It's only going to be $5 a month, but the only thing they have is like 4 original shows. They don't have any kind of a library of content to add there.
Okay.
So people think, and Apple apparently as a corporation has a lot of cash sitting around right now that they really need to do something with.
Okay.
So a purchase of Sony Pictures would give them...
Apple TV, they've been doing a lot of advertising during the NFL this
have.
past weekend.
They have.
For shows that they don't tell you what the show is. It's just Jason Momoa standing there with like a thing on, and it's like another comedy. I'm like, what's the show called? What is this? And it's like coming soon to Apple TV.
So they don't have a lot of content, and so a lot of people are thinking it makes sense that Apple wants to make a play for it.
Now, do you get like all their PlayStation stuff? And
No, it would only be Sony Pictures, not the PlayStation side
what does
of it.
Sony Pictures have that's exclusive that's not anywhere else?
I'd have to look back at their library. I didn't.
Nothing pops to mind to me that's like, oh, that's a Sony thing, you know?
What is it? Columbia Studios is their thing?
Is it Columbia?
I think so. Columbia Pictures, maybe.
I don't know. But we can keep going.
Yeah.
We look that up.
So, in addition to that, Amazon, wanting to bolster their Prime streaming, is also looking at it. And Amazon always has a lot of cash sitting around.
Yeah.
Because they just print money somehow.
Do these people realize that you're not getting Spider-Man if you do this also?
They must. And it must not be something they're really worried about. They're looking at the back catalog.
Yeah, they just want a quick...
And I think Amazon might just want to be trying to, like, spoil Apple a little bit.
Yeah.
Here's some stuff that they own. The Karate Kid, Ghostbusters, Jumanji, Stuart Little, Men in Black, Underworld,
All right.
Smurfs.
So it would give them something
Not bad.
to throw. It would give them
some
something
properties
to,
to work with. Yeah. You could do Ghostbusters TV shows, Jumanji. That's popular.
Yeah. So another thing that I found out that came out about this, the deal that J.J. Abrams made with Warner Media. He actually went with Warner Media and turned down more money with Apple.
Okay.
Apple offered him this exclusive, basically the same deal he got at Warner Media, except more money, and he turned it down because he was concerned about their theatrical distribution model.
Okay.
Meaning, you don't have a movie studio. What am I going to come over there and do?
Yeah.
And so he went to Warner for whatever the paycheck it is.
Yeah.
So that decision also is kind of pushing Apple, like, if we want to get anybody good, if we want to get a big name over here, we're going to need some kind of a distribution model.
Yeah.
I read today, they did sign M. Night Shyamalan is going to be making at least a TV series over there.
For Apple.
For Apple TV. And probably he'll get back into some of his movies through the Apple brand. But
now, how soon would this deal possibly go through if Apple or Amazon bought Sony?
again, I mean, you saw how long it took for the Disney
It was about a year and a
Disney
half.
Fox deal.
Yeah.
So
That's
even if the
bigger,
stuff,
though, you would think.
That was pretty big.
Yeah. That the amount of money that they were throwing around.
Yeah,
for that.
I don't think Marvel. If this is true and they're really looking to sit, then if I'm Marvel, you wait a few years. Who gives a
Absolutely.
shit?
Absolutely, you sit on this.
You can always come
let
back
him
with
make
Spider-Man
you
later
let him
on.
make Spider-Man 3. You let him continue on with Venom 2,
Yeah.
and when the sale happens, you just sit back and wait for the rights to revert
Yeah.
back to you.
You just say Peter Parker's been hiding all these years because his name was
Yeah.
he was revealed to the world, so he went
And
into
then they
hiding.
just
Yeah, I
ignore
mean-
all their stuff that they've done since then.
Yeah, and then he has to come back.
Yeah, it would be easy for them to hold off. They've got a lot of other stuff coming
Hell,
down
if
the
you're
pipe.
if you're Disney, you could even start it over with a brand new Spider-Man and not make it Peter Parker.
I would
You
just
could-
do Miles
You
Morales.
could go right to Miles Morales
Yep.
or Ben Riley or
Mm-hmm.
something like that and go right out of the gate with something
Or
different.
you can even say that he went through some procedure to change his appearance or something.
yeah,
You know, it's a comic book movie.
and he changed his name. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
you can't do that with Peter Parker, according to the contracts.
Oh, boy.
Some of the crazy stuff in this contract that I was reading down.
this is
through.
the contract for Sony has.
Yeah, this is what's between Sony and Marvel. Specifically, let's see, where was the one thing that made me laugh? It was Peter. His full name is Peter Benjamin Parker. He lost his parents at some point during his childhood. After his parents left his life, he was raised by his Aunt May and Uncle Ben in New York City. He attended high school in Queens. He attended middle school in Queens, high school in Queens, and college in New York, New York. They talk about his specific power set. They mention specifically that he is a male heterosexual Caucasian. Like all this
So you
specific.
could do this gay black Spider-Man and everybody would be okay.
As long as you don't name him Peter Parker,
and
you're
and
okay.
he's Petey Pablo, and it's a different name. Like, hey, this works.
Raise up.
What else? He doesn't deliberately torture or kill humans other than in self-defense. Does not use
mean.
foul language that is permitted outside of a PG-13 film.
Oh, turds. Double turds.
Does not smoke tobacco or use illegal drugs.
So the
does not
Spider-Man we're
use
building in
alcohol.
Marvel, he's smoking, he's killing people, he's gay.
Well, the funny thing is, if you remember from Into the Spider-Verse, the Peter B. Parker, he was kind of messed up. I think he was drinking.
Yeah, he wasn't smoking.
That movie was only PG, though. So.
But to read some of the stuff in these contracts is really hilarious. How deep these lawyers have to get
for specific rights.
to protect each company. And I mean, I was telling Brock when you went upstairs, they even go into the amalgam characters.
Oh, really?
Where there's like Spider-Boy that was half Marvel, half DC.
Half Superboy, yeah.
That property is completely frozen during the length of this contract. Neither company can touch him.
How long is the contract for?
This particular one was 10 years, so it ends in 2021, officially.
Okay, so did they sign a new one in 2010?
There must be something. This was the only one I could find, because this the WikiLeaks for this happened in 2014, I think. So there was nothing out there beyond this one.
Okay.
So when the Disney Marvel deal to bring bring him over into the MCU, I don't know if the contract was lengthened, what they did. I wasn't able to find anything on that. But that contract, there was some pretty weird stuff in that too. Like Marvel basically got him for free. Plus they got 5% day one rights, or 5% day one cut, and they retained all the merchandising rights. Like, it's no wonder Sony was like, "Screw you! We're not giving you anything. We're not giving you any more of this shit. You already took enough. Like, yeah, you made our movie successful, but you didn't give anything. You didn't give us anything to get him."
Yeah.
So
makes sense.
Yeah, but it made him so popular.
It did, and it absolutely bolstered their movies.
Yeah.
But
because their movies were getting flat without it.
Yeah, they were.
It's hard to do Spider-Man without the Marvel Universe. It's just hard.
Because he is the Marvel Universe.
He is the Marvel Universe. He's the heart and soul of the Marvel Universe. It's hard to act like that doesn't exist without around him. Like, I'm just the only superhero in this big city. Like, no, you're not. Spider-Man's also a big fanboy. He loves being around. He's impressed by Cap and Iron Man, and which you saw.
Oh yeah,
you know, and that's the thing. I mean, he ties in with everybody. He's had relations with the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, everyone. He's so key to that, and they're just trying to live him in this little bucket universe where he fights Blue Electro and all the other stupid shit that they've made him do. Lizard and everything.
Naked Lizard.
Naked Lizard. No naked lizards are naked things. So, I don't know. The drama will keep up. If I'm Disney, I just kick my feet back and laugh.
Exactly. At this point, you do, because if any of this acquisition rumor is true...
do you think that $10 billion number is going to start going down?
I think that's just the number that they're going to leave, because the only company, they can't sell it to anybody but back to Disney Marvel.
Let's scenario like this. Say you're Sony and you're like, okay, look, this deal's going through in 3 years. Okay? And by 3 years from now, either Amazon or Apple is going to buy us, and then we're out. So, in that amount of time, we could probably put out one Spider-Man film, because we got to make it, then we got to distribute it. It's about 1 year. You can't be pretty hard to push out 2 major movies in 3 years.
Oh yeah, it would be tough.
So let's say the movie without the Marvel and the Endgame lead-in, is it going to make $1 billion? Probably not. So let's try and make money. Let's go to Marvel right now and be like, hey, you want to do the third Spider-Man movie and part of Phase 4? $1 billion, you can have them. To me, I think that's a logical deal for both sides. It would work. You know what I mean? Like $10 billion is ridiculous, but $1 billion. Yeah, they'll get that back with one movie.
I still think that's even ridiculous.
It's high, but I think it's more doable that you can entice them with, like, you want him right now because you want to do that third one right now. Like, he's young, you don't want to wait, he's hot, you want to put him in a part of your thing. I mean, he's hot, like, the character's hot. It's a hot commodity right now, you know what I mean? You're building something there.
Yeah.
He was tied in with the Skrulls and all the other stuff going on, you're building something there. So they haven't changed their plans when they know that Disney's pulling a plug. So what's a good price that we would say, maybe not $1 billion, but like $800,000 versus what we can make off making one movie?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I would do $750,000. Million. Yeah.
$1,000.
I got that.
$50.
I got $50
I just think desperation.
A coupon for a free back massage.
Yeah.
And to the Jelly of the Month Club with a subscription. I just think at some point, if this Sony sees that if this is true and they see the writings on the wall that we're going to get bought out, we're going to get sold, that we're going to get desperate and start lowering that.
Because otherwise they get nothing for it.
Otherwise you're going to get nothing for it.
Yeah.
But I think Disney will be just like, we're just going to wait.
But the rumor...
They might want to wait, but I think they're going to look at it through profit. Like, if we wait for Spider-Man 3 years, it falls out of our plans. If we get them at this price, they have to have a number. You know, that like, if we get them at this price, we can make XYZ off them, and then it's a profit. It's worth pulling the trigger.
here's where I make Don say, screw Sony, Disney, just keep moving forward. The rumor is they're going to replace Spider-Man in the MCU with Nova.
Yeah, which I like, but it's not Spider-Man.
I know.
You know, I mean, I love Nova. I want to see a Nova movie. That's why I said before in our show, I'm not sad if Spider-Man goes away.
Because it does open the door.
It opens the door for these other guys, which I'll be fine with. I got them already. But when they say things like, we want to get Spider-Man and make a fourth movie where he goes to school with Bobby Drake and Angela, what's Firestar's name?
Oh, I don't even know.
Angelica Jones.
Yes.
And you have Spider-Man's Amazing Friends, then I get excited. And then I'm like, no, I want him here right now. I don't want to wait, because seeing him with Iceman and Firestar would be the best thing I can think of in a movie. I mean, I love that show. That show is so important to my childhood. It's just so great. I would love to see those three on the screen together. Especially this Spider-Man you got to cast a great Bobby Drake and a great Angelica Jones and have them together as like members of the X-Men and all. That'd be great. But, yeah. Either way, it's a win for Disney.
Yeah, yeah. They're
going to get him back within the next 10 years, guaranteed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I think they'll just ride it out, though, unless, like you said, they come
unless the numbers
begging
work.
for take this, we get something out of the deal.
Unless they know that, like, in the next 5 years, we're going to try and dish out Spider-Man 3 and 4, and it's this whole Amazing Friends thing they're going to do, and this is like, that's easily $2.5 billion for those two movies that they're going to make or whatever. And they go, hey, we're going to get them for $700 million.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's pull the trigger now, because that other deal is going to take 4 years to go through. Let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's worth it. That's worth it to us. Mm-hmm. That's the only way it's going to happen. If the numbers line up for them, they ain't going to give it something like $10 billion. Does not line up for them.
No.
That's bullshit. Is what that is.
It's crazy.
Stupid.
Now, I will say the rumored valuation for Sony Pictures Entertainment as a whole is $30 billion.
Yeah, as a whole, Ghostbusters, all those things you named. Yeah, I can see that.
So,
and they have that whole back library of stuff that isn't big.
Yeah.
Well-known franchises and stuff.
There's a lot of stuff there too that you can do. That's the thing nowadays, man. Everybody wants streamable content.
Yeah,
you want shit to put on your stuff to charge for your app. That's all people look for.
Yeah, and that's the wave of the future. Streaming services are going.
Other than purchasing the rights, there's no other overhead. You just have the stuff. There it is.
Yeah.
And
now, most of these places are creating original content on top of it.
Yeah.
But
if you get the rights to Ghostbusters, you're going to do stuff with it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But you want some kind of a library out there so that if your original content sucks or if people don't like it, they're still going to maintain their subscription to your platform so they can watch it. The one advantage that Apple has coming is, number one, it's only going to be $5 a month.
Yeah.
And number two, if you buy a new Apple device, you get it for free for a year.
Yeah.
So they're going to try and suck people in and give it away for free.
Yeah.
For this first year.
It's going to get to the point. It's almost getting to the point now where your streaming bill are more than what your cable bill used to be. It used to be cheaper. Cut the cord. Now it's like, God, I got all these streaming services. I'm already getting close back up to what I was paying for cable. I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's gonna.
You got to pick and choose.
It's gonna break eventually.
Or all the streaming services will end up back on like one big conglomerated network, and it'll just be like watching TV.
Owned by Disney.
Yeah.
Disney Plus down the road.
Yeah. Wouldn't be surprised.
Remember when Facebook started out and you thought you were going to have a Facebook account and a MySpace account and all this, and now you just have Facebook and they own everything? Like that.
Yeah.
That's what it's going to end up being. Watch Disney Plus. I'm watching the Batman show in Disney Plus.
There was a rumor at one point that Facebook was looking at buying Sony.
Yeah.
So Sony is a valuable property, and it just depends on whether or not Sony corporate does decide to divest it.
Yeah.
Their CEO came out last year and said, no, Sony Pictures Entertainment is important to the company. It's a brand we want to endorse, and yada yada yada. But then in 2014 that was before, and then the leak happened, and he got fired or stepped down. Then their CFO came in and took over as CEO, and a more financially minded guy. There's been hedge fund managers pitching him to sell off Sony Pictures since like 2015.
Yeah, I saw a dumb response on Facebook. Speaking of this, where someone said Disney will probably just end up buying Sony because they bought Fox just to get the X-Men and Fantastic Four back. I'm like, no, they didn't pay.
That was just gravy.
That was just gravy. They didn't pay that amount of money for them. They bought the Fox library is what they bought and all those rights. They didn't spend $78 billion on the friggin' X-Men. No, that's not. Like here,
That's how fanboys think.
Yeah, they're not going to buy Sony. I don't even think they would spend that much on Sony because I don't think you get as much stuff as you got with Fox.
No.
To buy Sony,
No.
I don't think it's worth it for them. They got a shit ton of stuff when they got Fox. Shit ton of stuff.
Plus all the stuff they already had. And, yeah. Disney is by far the leader in the market right now, I think, for content.
Yeah.
Or will be.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
So that's it. The drama continues. The drama is going to keep going until either Disney gets the rights back or Sony blows up.
Okay.
So that's it.
All right. Thanks, Justin.
No problem.
Good stuff. Brock, take us out.
All right, thanks everyone. Like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Thumbs up this video for Justin, and subscribe. Have a good night.
Later.
Later.